We've seen come and go waves of companies say, we'll accept payment in Bitcoin. They're lying.
What storm, Mr. President? The Great Awakening is the storm.
But we're really pleased. These are the first U.S. banks now on the Ripple protocol. So we think we are starting to get our message out there that these new technologies, distributed ledgers, really can be seen as alternatives, really viable alternatives to correspondent banking. And that's very powerful for, and then along with that, bringing market makers to make markets between those currencies, cross currencies. We've already been pretty successful there. We have about 7 institutional market makers already.
Cross-border is where the challenges continue to lie. It relies on correspondent banking. Banks like us, are the ones who are running the rates, but there are obvious challenges in an account-based model.
We should have a level playing field. Wealth matters to everybody. Stop stealing from people. These people are sick.
The thing is I've said for years, this was staged, guys. This was never real. I don't believe this was ever a real thing. And with the SEC and the Ripple lawsuit, this was always designed to make XRP, basically the first regulated cryptocurrency.
Because they aren't actually accepting payment in Bitcoin. They are using a service that allows them to price in dollars, presents Bitcoin to the customer.
They found that purchases with Tether were timed following market downturns and resulted in sizable increases in Bitcoin prices.
Know what you hold?
Enjoy the ride, pal.
It's the XRP Army.
If you got a baggie, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon o'clock news. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra. Bullishness. Shout out to the latest sub. We just hit 53K. Shout out Wealth Panda in the building. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in. Stuffing some baggies. XRP explosion. XRplosion. $46. $13. We got the total global cryptocurrency market cap today at 2.17 trillion, up about 0.8% in the past 24. We got XRP in that number 7 spot back into the mid 50s, currently right around 56 cents. We got Stellar XLM in the number 27 spot, right beneath 10 cents, 0.097. We got BTC 59K, ETH right around 27 hundo. Flare Networks right around 0.015, XLR 55 cents, XDC right around 0.026, Stronghold 0036, Songbird 0063, Zahao right around 0.038, Evernote 0.086. Take a look at the altcoin season index, currently still in Bitcoin season here at a 24. Need to kick back up above a 75 for it to be a full-blown altcoin season. XRP scan, another milestone. Early today, the XRP ledger crossed an iconic milestone of 90 million ledgers closed. A big thank you to all the network operators, devs, and community. Here's to closing 100 million ledgers. XRP, faster, cheaper, more efficient. Meanwhile, we got CoinDesk. Traders have locked in over 2 million in XRP's $1.10 call option listed on Duribit Exchange, the highest across all available maturities. Some market observers say that this may be due to speculation around the XRP ETF. XRP's bullish options popularity jump may be due to the ETF speculation. 707 crypto 10 years ago, 2014, Chris Larson was at Sibos. Is Ripple still on the same path, or was it changed?
Sibos 2014 in Boston, and I'm with Chris Larson of Ripple. So Chris, thank you for joining us firstly. Thanks so much for having us. You're welcome. So recently in the news, we've heard about Ripple signing 2 US banks, which is, I guess, great news for you. And I'd like to know the process behind that happening. How did that all come about?
Yeah, so we just announced that we signed up CBW out of Kansas and Cross River Bank out of New Jersey. And obviously with banks, banks are rightly careful about any new technology for regulatory purposes and for stability purposes. So, these conversations do take a while, 6 months to a year, we think, to really sort of introduce the concept and then how can it be applied and then start talking about pilots. But we're really pleased. These are the first U.S. banks now on the Ripple protocol. So we think we are starting to get our message out there that these new technologies, distributed ledgers, really can be seen as alternatives, really viable alternatives to correspondent banking. And that's very powerful for particularly smaller banks that otherwise have to rely on correspondent banks.
Okay.
Am I right in thinking the strategy is then to get kind of a nationwide deployment of Ripple? And if so, how is that going to work? What's the strategy?
Yeah, so the strategy really is now first try to get a bank in each of the key regions of the world. Because if you can connect one bank on ACH in the US to one bank on SEPA in Europe, you have effectively connected all of the banks on those two networks. So you really get a multiplier effect. Now we have this Fedor out of Germany and SEPA, and we have now these two US banks on ACH. Now we got to work on China, we got to work in South America, India, and really continue to spread it and get to some of the bank networks. So definitely getting banks as gateways to bring currencies onto the platform is very important. And then along with that, bringing market makers to make markets between those currencies, cross currencies. We've already been pretty successful there. We have about 7 institutional market makers already. Now it's really kind of filling it up with banks.
We got Smoke Dog, JP Morgan representative, confirms that SWIFT is moving to DLT, distributed ledger technology, and token-based rails. XRP, distributed ledger technology.
I agree with all of her observations in terms of cross-border payments continues to remain challenging. Domestic payment infrastructures have improved by leaps and bounds. UPI in India, PIX in Brazil, and many more have delivered instant payments 24/7. Cross-border is where the challenges continue to lie. It relies on correspondent banking. Banks like us, are the ones who are running the rails, but there are obvious challenges in an account-based model. So we firmly believe that message-based infrastructure, which is what powers the card networks, SWIFT, will give way to token-based infrastructure going forward. And that is where DLT can play a very useful role in terms of these token-based pipes. We do think that the future of payment networks is going to be open loop. So closed loop networks like wallets, which have done a really good job where payment infrastructure has been found wanting to create a rich user experience. I think that will give way to open loop. Already wallet companies like Paytm in India are struggling ever since UPI has come on board. I think the same story is going to repeat with Alipay and every other wallet company.
Subject views. I'm just going to leave this here. Avoid pre-funding with instant settlement. XRP. More to come. All roads lead to the bridge. Rob Cunningham, calm before the storm. What storm, Mr. President? You'll find out soon enough.
What storm, Mr. President? What storm are you talking about? Well, how about this? We should have a level playing field. Wealth matters to everybody. Stop stealing from people. These people are sick, what they're doing to the least and the lost among us, and we caught them all. We can't have a nation if we can't self-determine who's going to be who's going to lead us, right? We need to pick our own leaders and then eat our own dog food after we've done it. But we don't want to be able to think we picked a leader and then somebody else gets put in their place. So the basic 3 things. What storm, Mr. President? The Great Awakening is the storm. The Great Awakening is when we all figure out, wait a minute. They've been lying to us about money. They've been stealing our kids, and they've been putting in their own cronies to tell us what to do. How the hell is that freedom? How's that a life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness if they're going to do this? And there's a guy that came down and said, you know what? How about we cut this nonsense out? What do you think about that? Oh, Orange Man bad.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the context of why would he leave a life as a multi-billionaire with properties all over the world, success and fame and family and fortune and everything that he's got, and put himself in front of these incessant attacks if he wasn't doing it for a reason other than money? Maybe it was truth and honor and legacy. Maybe he's this blue-collar billionaire.
They knew for over 30 years, or from what I've heard from Juanito, is that they have their playbook. They knew what these people were going to do, and they're psychopaths, and they want to destroy and then annihilate humanity, and then manage the rest of the remainder of 500 million, put them under a manageable, smart cities or whatever, and that is just slavery and bondage for the human species, and that cannot be allowed to happen.
We got Riz XRP Ripple versus SEC stage. Probably right.
Yeah, the lion's share, the old lion's share. Yeah, they definitely got that. Now, the thing is I've said for years, this was staged, guys. This was never real. I don't believe this was ever a real thing. I've been told, and I now believe this 100%. I believe it 100% that 75% of everything you see is fake. And it doesn't mean that if you watch 100 court cases, that 75 of those are fake and 25 are fake. It means pretty much 75% of anything you see anywhere is fake. So 75% of someone's testimony is their perspective in the way that they saw things. That's a good example, right? Have you ever had a situation where you and someone else were good friends, but you just saw something completely differently, right? And that's kind of how things work. And with the SEC and the Ripple lawsuit, this was always designed to make XRP basically the first regulated cryptocurrency and to allow it to get into the banking system, because Bitcoin is not actually regulated in a sense. There are some rules around some things, but like Bitcoin mining has virtually no regulation, right? Bitcoin trading it kind of is different than the regular stock trading. Should have its own rules. They haven't touched any of those things yet. I think
You got the AI, Bitcoin show of lies. Bitcoin is a show of lies. This is perfectly described, and I couldn't have said it any better.
So Bitcoin burns 2% of the world's electricity or so to be able to process somewhere between 3 to 7 transactions per second across the entire world. That's it.
It's not many.
It's not many. And worse, it never could work for payments. So if we've seen come and go waves of companies say, we'll accept payment in Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
They're lying because they aren't actually accepting payment in Bitcoin. They are using a service that allows them to price in dollars, presents Bitcoin to the customer, transfers the Bitcoin, turns it into dollars, and so the merchant is getting actual money.
But, Bitcoin's the future. XRP. Hidden in plain sight. Know what you hold. We got We Say When, the best wallet for the masses. There's no wallet at all. Email provider, independent. We got Richard XRPL, XAS3D, email wallets for Zahao. We got one from Mr. Man XRP. The T20s, the G20s, think tank explains the death of the tether and severe crash into Bitcoin due to a crisis. Get ready for the ride of your life in 2025.
BTI found 17 of the CMC top 25 exchanges to be over 99% fake, with many greater than 99.5% fake volumes, including 35 of the top 50 adjusted volume rankings. Griffin and Shams discovered trading patterns that cannot be explained by cash demand from investors but were most consistent with the supplely based hypothesis of unbacked digital money inflating cryptocurrency prices. Analyzing the 2017 boom, they found that purchases with Tether were timed following market downturns and resulted in sizable increases in Bitcoin prices. A financial crisis could easily overthrow this disingenuous architecture, especially if the adverse shock is persistent and secondary prices and liquidity have been supported by wash trades. A real stress test could create a loss of faith in many of these arrangements, and in contrast, favor other digital assets such as central bank digital currencies.
Got Coins Kid, hey y'all. This still remains my primary expectation for Bitcoin, and the final fifth wave is potentially missing. I've made many videos on this since breaking out last October in the third wave. Wave 2 and 4 is currently at play, which is something I say we would likely see in the 4-wave correction. Invalidation is a green line, and lose that and the game changes. Got Titan of Crypto Bitcoin rally imminent. BTC tested the Gaussian channel on the weekly time frame, a move that often precedes a rally. Crypto Bull 2020, depending on when the XRP explosion will explode. We should see anywhere between $13 and $46 within the next 1 to 18 months. And we got one from Mustache Altcoins. The 75 line is the Mare multiple marked bottom for altcoins in 2020. The 0.75 line in the Mare multiple marked the bottom for altcoins in 2023. Again in 2024. If that's not the bottom of altcoins, then what is? The longer they take, the higher we climb. On that XRP rich list, top 10% holder, 3,000 XRP. Top 5% holder, 10,000 XRP. Top 1% holder, 61,000 XRP. Let our friend know that the greatest opportunity of multiple lifetimes is still at hand, but the train's left the station. Tick-tock, tick-tock, where will those bags be when that regulation jar of molasses finally breaks open? An XRP's true price is finally revealed. Later, glitches.
Welcome to the show. I told you so. I told you so. We're gonna be driving Lambos. We're
passion. Cause what you focus on, you attract like a magnet. Got diamond hands, we hold till we blasting. It's universal law.